Now on a special edition of KGW News, new developments tonight in the legal battle to send National Guard troops to Portland.
What was unlawful with the Oregon National Guard is unlawful with the California National Guard.
Plus, the city of Portland planning a lawsuit against federal officers following clashes with demonstrators outside the ICE facility.
They are antagonizing folks who are there to lawfully demonstrate.
And one lawmaker trying to bring attention to what she says is a looming healthcare crisis amid the government shutdown.
They need to come and work with us to solve a serious problem in front of our country.
This is yet another unnecessary and inflammatory attempt by the president to deploy outside troops in Portland where no intervention is warranted.
And that was Mayor Keith Wilson's response to the federal government's deployment of California National Guard troops to Portland. That's before learning Texas Guard troops were also mobilized. Thanks for joining us on this special edition of KGW News. I'm Tim Gordon. Tonight, a judge held an emergency hearing over a second restraining order against the deployment of troops. John Adams joins us from the newsroom. And John, fill us in on what happened today and especially tonight.
Absolutely, Tim. A very busy day today. Just in the last 45 minutes or so, U.S. District Judge Karen Emmergut granted a motion for a second temporary restraining order blocking the deployment of both the California and the Texas National Guard from responding to Portland. This, of course, comes on the heels of a temporary restraining order being granted yesterday, blocking the Oregon National Guard from responding. Now, we know about 100 California National Guard troops have already arrived at Camp Withicum in Happy Valley. Before the judge's latest ruling, we also got this statement from Governor Kotek after the order from the Trump administration, which would send the Texas National Guard to Oregon, saying, "This is a continuation and escalation of the president's dangerous, un-American misuse of states' National Guard members and hard-earned taxpayer dollars." I join Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker in his call on Texas Governor Greg Abbott to immediately withdraw any support for this decision and refuse to coordinate. Here is more of what happened before the judge's ruling today.
Just hours after a federal judge temporarily blocked Oregon National Guard troops from deploying in Portland, members of the California National Guard were on their way to the Portland area by order of President Trump. 101 troops who were federalized in June landed in Oregon Saturday night. Another 99 were on the way by Sunday.
What was unlawful yesterday is unlawful today. What was unlawful with the Oregon National Guard is unlawful with the California National Guard.
As the California Guard troops assemble at Camp Withicum, Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield says the state has already added California to its suit against the Trump administration, which would block the California Guard from deploying in Portland.
The president is trying to out-hustle us in this process, and so we're trying again to get in front of a court.
Portland is burning to the ground. It's insurrectionists all over the place. It's Antifa.
President Trump spoke about the situation in Portland Sunday morning, doubling down on his claims about the Rose City.
The politicians are afraid for their lives. That's the only reason that they say, like, there's nothing happening. And you've seen it. The place is burning down and they pretend like there's nothing happening.
Oregon's governor pushed back on the president's comments Sunday afternoon.
There is no connection between the truth and what the president is saying in terms of what is happening on the ground in Portland.
Portland's mayor also reaffirming his stance that no federalized guard troops are needed in the city.
This is yet another unnecessary and inflammatory attempt by the president to deploy outside troops in Portland where no intervention is warranted.
During a town hall in Beaverton on Sunday, Representative Susan Bonamici spoke on how the ongoing government shutdown will affect the National Guard troops deployed to Oregon.
The government is shut down right now, so National Guard would be coming here without even being paid. Number one, we don't need them. Number two, we don't want them. Number three, it's not their job. And number four, they're asking them to do this without even getting paid.
And Tim, just a clarification here, the judge's order not only blocks the National Guard troops from California and Texas, but any other state in the U.S., and that temporary restraining order will last 2 weeks. We're going to continue to monitor this story as it develops. Tim, back to you.
John, thanks for bringing us the very latest information there. Let's take a live look now at the ICE facility on South Macadam. You see a pretty good gathering out there. but things look calm at the moment. Again, the Trump administration is using this area as justification for sending troops. Earlier today, the Portland branch of the FBI said they made 5 felony arrests over the past 24 hours, bringing the total arrests since June up to 147. During the press conference earlier today, Mayor Wilson said they're also planning to file a civil rights lawsuit against federal police, DHS, and ICE for their actions at the facility. Yesterday, federal officers appeared to take a more aggressive approach to the demonstrators, firing pepper balls and sending tear gas into the area.
Indiscriminate use of impact munitions to disperse an otherwise peaceful crowd. Indiscriminately discharging pepper spray. We saw a sniper on the roof of the ICE facility. This is not what we typically look at in crowd control or peaceful protests. This is an aggressive approach trying to inflame a situation that has otherwise been peaceful.
Mayor Wilson also claimed federal officers are trying to antagonize crowds who are otherwise protesting lawfully. And stay with KGW for continuing coverage on the protests, plus any further developments on the possible deployment of National Guard troops to Portland. Look for that here on air on KGW.com and also on the KGW Plus TV app. All right, well, the forecast really improved for the second half of the weekend with a lot of sunny skies today and warmer temperatures too. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri has a look at your forecast heading into this upcoming week. Joe.
Hey there, Tim. We're going to be looking at really fantastic weather to start off the work week, and most of the week is going to be looking really pleasant and a little bit on the warmer side from what we have been seeing. Right now, we're seeing a temperature of 63 degrees with clear skies from our Pioneer Park building camera. Winds are light right now coming in out of the west, but we'll start to see the winds really pick up heading into tomorrow. With that east wind, it's going to be pushing any threat of clouds out of our way. In fact, through the coast, the valley, and of course the mountains, you'll be seeing crystal clear skies from beginning to end. Tomorrow morning, right around 9 o'clock, we'll be looking at temperatures in the low 50s. It will be kind of a cool start, not just in the metro area, but in many locations across the state. Daytime highs in the mid to the upper 70s, and we'll have this ridge of high pressure in place over the next couple of days. But with the clear skies, there are going to be some watches and warnings throughout parts of the central and eastern side of the state, with a freeze watch in place as well as a freeze warning throughout parts of the Columbia River Gorge. Winds will be kind of a factor as well, picking up throughout parts of the gorge close to 40 miles an hour. Here locally, we'll see those winds, Tim, right around 20, 25 miles an hour, and that'll be the case not just tomorrow, but into Tuesday, and then we'll gradually cool down. I'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
All right, Joe, look forward to seeing you then. New tonight, Portland police are searching for the suspect or suspects behind a shooting that left a man with life-threatening injuries. Officers were called just after 5:30 this morning to the area of Southeast Foster Road and 88th Avenue. There, they found a man sitting in a car with multiple gunshot wounds. No one was arrested at the time. The homicide unit did respond due to the seriousness of the incident. Portland police ask anyone with information to reach out to them. The millions of people who rely on food stamps and family aid through federal programs could be at risk of losing assistance during the government shutdown. That's because funding was cut off September 30th. As Jen Sullivan reports, these crucial programs are now relying on reserve funds until the government passes a new spending plan.
This is baby Zave. He's now 1.5 and thriving. But his mom, Ashley Vasquez, says that wasn't always the case.
He just didn't have an appetite and he wasn't putting on weight.
Zave was put on special nutritional drinks that his family received through WIC, federal-funded program for women, infants, and children. It provides aid to more than 6 million low-income families to help cover expenses for food, breastfeeding support, and health education. But that money could soon be at risk if the government shutdown continues.
For really young children whose sole source of nutrition may be infant formula, the loss of WIC would be absolutely devastating because their families don't have other options.
Neil Menifee-Leiby with the National WIC Association says if the government doesn't pass a spending bill within the next 2 weeks, funding will likely run out.
That really puts us in a crisis point very quickly.
Funding for other assistance programs like the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program known as SNAP could also be at risk. Roughly 42 million people depend on SNAP to help cover groceries. October's benefits were already sent out, but come November 1st, it's unclear whether people will receive assistance as politicians continue to debate.
Republicans refuse to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credit.
This is not about health care. This is about Democrats wanting to show their progressive left base that they are fighting against Donald Trump.
Meanwhile, it leaves vulnerable parents like Ashley Vasquez unsure how they're going to pay for their families. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
And one U.S. senator is calling attention to what she says is a healthcare crisis that threatens to shut down small businesses. Senator Patty Murray from Washington says the one big beautiful bill, as it's been called, did not continue healthcare tax credits that millions of people benefit from under the Affordable Care Act. She says that means healthcare costs are about to more than double, especially for the small business owners and self-employed workers who are likely to get healthcare through the ACA marketplace.
Those hikes are going to mean hard decisions. Some will have to offer plans with worse benefits, and their employees will have to pay higher premiums. Some will stop offering coverage to their employees altogether. And many small businesses, which account for half of job growth, will have to stop hiring. Many will have to let people go.
Senator Murray was joined by Oregon hospital leaders who warned cuts to the ACA also threaten people with insurance because hospitals will see more uninsured people who cannot afford to pay. Well, Democrats have blocked bills that would reopen the government because they did not restore that health care funding. Republicans accuse them of trying to pick a fight with President Trump rather than trying to reopen the government. Runners took to the streets for the Portland Marathon and Half Marathon this morning, a sellout event with a substantially larger turnout this year, according to organizers. Jake Holter has a story from the final stretch.
We spoke to runners young and old, first-timers and Boston Marathon qualifiers, everyone agreeing that it was the perfect day to pound the pavement here in Portland.
The longest I'd ever run before today was 8 miles.
Tougher than I thought. Runners were all smiles Sunday after finishing up the Portland Marathon and Half Marathon.
I ran a course record. I ran it the past 2 years and got 2:59 and then 2:58, and then this time I ran 2:47, I think. So, pretty good.
This was 20-year-old Micah Margison's fourth marathon, and he's qualified for Boston. But he was most excited to have his fiancée run the half while he ran the full.
I love you.
He met her at the finish line with flowers.
I saw him twice, and it was so great. That gave me so much more energy than I thought I had.
I'm really proud of her. I told her last week that I'd be proud of her no matter what happened.
But first-time racer Malia Harvey wasn't only doing it for Micah.
Well, my dad used to run the half, and he passed away. And so I really wanted to honor him, and I really wanted to do it. And then I talked one of my friends into it, so I'm like, shoot, now I have to do it. And then he signed up for the marathon, so I felt like there's no turning back.
And Malia wasn't the only first-timer. 71-year-old Glenn Buck ran his first half marathon Sunday.
Probably the first 6 miles is okay, and then coming up that hill near the end, and what was it, mile 8? That was tough. But okay, I had my daughter and son-in-law pacing me. They were helping me out a lot, so it went really well.
And first-time racer Hannah Anderson decided the night before that she was going to do it.
Signed up a while ago. I was like, nah, it's not going to happen. I haven't really trained, have a bad knee. And then last night I was like, I signed up. I'm going to run it. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to see how it goes. And it was good.
Organizers say the race had nearly 3,000 more runners this year versus last year, which they say is likely due to this year's Nike sponsorship. KGW also drove by the section of the race near the ice facility, but didn't see any disturbances. Jake Holter, KGW News.